awesome God, He reigns from heaven above with the wind. Some power and love, our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God, He reigns from heaven above with the wind. Some power and love, our God is an awesome God. You're marvelous and you're glorious. Your love has made me victorious. You took away all the fear in us. Now we praise you because you delivered us. Hey, there ain't no stopping us now. There ain't no blocking us now. Come on and clap your hands with us. Welcome to 8 and 8. This morning's 8 and 8 is for anyone who's struggling in the midst of all the real chaos, in all the midst of the sleepless nights, in all the midst of the real anxiety and the suffering and the pain. Anyone who's struggling in all of that to feel the joy of the Lord. And I'm not saying that we should be joyful about any of the stuff that's happening. As you know, we've said over and over again, we need to embrace all the real stuff that we're struggling with and that others are struggling with and all of that. But in the midst of all that, I want to point you to Psalm 73 this morning. I'd love for you just to read it when you have some time. But the psalmist is saying, man, there was a time when I just envied the arrogant. I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They didn't seem to have any struggles. Their bodies were healthy. They were free from all the burdens that everybody else experiences. They say, how would God know what we're doing? And does the Most High know anything at all? They're always free of care, and they go on just amassing wealth. And then he says, man, it was in vain that I kept my heart pure. All day long, I've been afflicted while I've been trying to serve God. He says, when I tried to understand all this, it troubled me so deeply, until I entered the sanctuary of God. Friends, if you are struggling that deeply, if you're one of the ones that's up late at night or in the middle of the night because you're just so concerned, so worried, so burdened, I want to ask you to do what the psalmist did. Enter the sanctuary of God. In other words, would you just open your heart to be able to see God and to know that His perspective sees it all, and that He's worth staring at, and He's worth worshiping, that He's worth honoring from the depths of our heart and feeling the joy that comes from worshiping Him, even when the world is in chaos, and even right in the midst of all that chaos. And it's actually exactly what we need to be doing when we're living a life that's in the midst of chaos. Let me give you an example. Up until yesterday, we thought that the first person who had died from the coronavirus was like late February. Last night, a coroner in the San Francisco area released the results of an autopsy that showed that a couple people died in early February. One died February 6th. And here's the point. While we were all scrambling around late February and trying to figure out what was happening, God could see all of that. He saw what was happening, of course, way before even February 6th in other parts of the world, but He saw what was happening. He knew that person. He loved them. He cared about them deeply, who was dying. And yet our perspective was so limited. We were just, even our most intelligent and wise people were struggling to find out and understand all that was happening. Our God is an awesome God. He knows. He cares deeply. He loves. And I want to just encourage you. I know you're going to spend today watching some news and trying to sort some things out and figure it all out. But would you also spend a couple of minutes the rest of this 8 and 8 just enjoying God for who He is and letting the joy of the Lord fill you this morning? God, He reigns from heaven above with the wind. Wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. You're marvelous and you're glorious. Your love has made me victorious. You took away all the fear in us. Now we praise you because you delivered us. Hey, there ain't no stopping us. There ain't no blocking us. Come on and clap your hands with us. Come on, sing it out. heaven above with the wind. Wisdom, power, and God is an awesome God. He's an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with the wind. Wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. You're marvelous and you're glorious. Your love has made me victorious. You took away all the fear in us. Now we praise you because you delivered us. There ain't no stopping us now. There ain't no blocking us. Come on and clap your hands with us. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. Would you sing that out? He reigns. 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 Oh, he reigns. Our God, He's an awesome God who reigns from heaven above with the wind, some power and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God, He's an awesome God who reigns from heaven above with the wind, some power and love. Our God is an awesome God. You're marvelous and you're glorious. Your love has made me victorious. You put away all the fear in us. Now we praise you because you delivered us. Hey, there ain't no stopping us now. There ain't no blocking us, no. Come on and clap your hands with us. Would you just do this with me at home? I know you might be sitting down somewhere and trying to relax, but would you just put those hands together and so you can clap out? And if you can, would you sing along? Keep those clapping. Go. Here we go. Come on. Come on. And sing it again. Our God is an awesome God who reigns from heaven above with the wind, some power and love. Our God is an awesome God. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. One more time. Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. Sing it. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. Yeah, He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. Everybody can sing. He reigns. He reigns. He reigns. Oh, He reigns. Oh, He reigns. I hope you feel the joy of the Lord this morning. Let me tell you the end of Psalm 73. The psalmist said, the same one that had poured out his complaints to God, he then says, when my heart was grieved and my spirit embittered, I was senseless and ignorant. I was a brute beast before you. I wonder how many of us just feel like that in this season, just a brute beast that's senseless and ignorant. Yet the psalmist says, I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterwards you'll take me into glory. Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever.